But it's just, if you truly love people and you truly want to make it a difference, you have to really just put it on your shoulders and say, like, I can do anything.
Why don't you tell us your name and a little bit about yourself?
My name is Kyle Rice. I've been a Christian for about 16 years. I'm married for 7 years. I got 2 beautiful daughters. One's 3, one's 5. And grew up in Orange County. I've been working in LA, near the Skid Row area, for almost 8 years now.
What inspired you to create Project 54, and what exactly is Project 54?
And my buddy Eric, who a lot of people knew here, is New York. And I asked him one time, do you think God could change Skid Row? And he said no, because he would need his believers to do his work for him, and that people just give stuff in Skid Row and then they leave, that they truly don't care about people. So how can he ever see God exist? So after that, it was kind of hit me hard. So me and my wife were trying to figure out ways that we can make a bigger impact on the Skid Row community and try to be more involved in their lives. So one of the things we do is we do like brunches, like we're doing today, and we have a professional cook come down, Kyle Powers from Fork in the Road Catering, and he basically makes food for everyone, and we pass out Bibles and books. We have a team that walk around the street, but we set up tables everywhere. And our whole point is actually to get to know the people of Skid Row, instead of just giving them, and actually talk about what's going on in their lives. And it's kind of amazing, like the friendships we kind of started because of the brunches. And then we started helping out our local shelters, throwing events for them, and we also have weekly Bible studies now, too, on top of it.
You know, do you have a story you can share with us, that a person or individual that you helped out that was really special for you?
All these things that we do is not my idea. It's something that homeless people brought up that they wanted. So I started listening to Eric, and Eric started saying you should have brunches, so we started like doing brunches, and then it kind of led in more and more. Being involved in his life to Bible studies, and eventually after a while, through a lot of time and building relationships, Eric actually wanted to leave Skid Row. So we actually ended up working out different facilities that would take him. He got kicked out 3 times, and he actually ended up sleeping on my couch for a couple days. And I think we got rejected by over 100 different places, I think facilities we called at some point. I think one day it was over 45, and that was the point when he was still living on a couch. But now he lives in a home, and he goes to my church with me. He also he just started his first job on Monday, so now he has a job. So he's like completely like defeated poverty in every aspect. And not just that, just the bigger point of getting to know him is just his view on life is completely different. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that now he went from being so angry and hurt all the time to now being just one of the most joyous people you can ever be around.
So why do you continue doing what you do? Why does it mean so much for you?
As a Christian, I kind of take my faith seriously, and I think that we're all called to be like Jesus, and Jesus lived a whole life of serving others, and I think that's the point for me, why I do it. I've learned so much by doing this too. I think people get serving wrong, and they think that you should only be the giver, but it's actually a two-way street. It's a relationship that you're building, and how do you truly expect someone to change your life if you're not willing to accept the change in your life and you letting them affect you and take it? And so I think another part of it too is just, changing my life in the process, and just every single time it's amazing. Just yesterday I was driving down the street and I was about to go to work, and I was in Skid Row, and one of the ladies flagged me down, and she's like, "Oh, hey Kyle, how you doing?" She ran up and kissed me on the cheek, and she's like, "When can I see you again?" And told about the events. And it's pretty amazing too, just when a lot of us, we go throughout our lives and we're so worried about us, but when you live a life so focused on other people, you don't really get to see the miracles that you can cause. We've had homeless people tell us they were about to commit suicide before we talked to them, and we've had people give up addiction, life of crime. We've had people bring up their drug dealers in our Bible studies, and now this relationship that was built on me buying drugs and you selling me drugs is now gone, and now they're just friends, and we've had people obviously leave the streets, and I mean, it's hard and it's a long road, but that's kind of what always pushes me, just constantly seeing the change in my life and other people's lives. A lot of people think that you have to have all this money and you have to do all these things. It's really not. I mean, you'd be amazed how much a conversation can change someone's life. And I would actually say that the biggest thing you have to do is just open yourself up and say, like, I'm just not going to give, and all I have to do is just love someone and genuinely be a part of someone's life. Anybody can do that. I think the one thing people, they always think you have to give money or clothes or a lot of things, but it's really your time, and time is the most valuable thing, but it's also the free thing that we can give, right? So if you're just willing to give your time and your love, then I think that's the thing that, that doesn't cost anything, and anybody can do that.